Deal Seekers, there's a special event happening this weekend you should know about. 77th annual Orono-Old Town Kiwanis auction and yard sale returns to Orono later this week. Volunteers have been hard at work organizing thousands of items throughout their barns on Forest Ave. Two-day event runs Friday and Saturday. Yard sale opens both days at 3:30 with a live auction beginning at 5:30. Even nearly 8 decades into this event, past President Mary Skaggs says they try to feature something new every year, and this year is no different.
We've been picking up items and donations from folks since September last year, and we started working out here, sorting through all of our donations the middle of May. And we have over 100 local merchants who have donated gift cards and items from their stores. And one thing that we want to make sure that especially grandparents know, we have one of the things we'll be auctioning off is a ride in a fire truck from the Orono Fire Department to a child who goes to Orono schools.
If you like the hockey jersey Mary's modeling, those are among the hundreds of pieces of merchandise donated by UMaine. They have New Balance shoes and Black Bear football jerseys for just $5. Organizers say all the money raised will support the mission of Kiwanis, helping children in the community.